All right. Welcome to Late Night Love. Love isn't just romance, it's the messy, beautiful, exhausting business of raising kids and navigating family dynamics. Tonight, we're asking, what are the odds of having two trans kids? Should airlines rethink seating for toddlers? And is a 30 minutes at the gym a myth for new parents? These are going to be some interesting, wide-ranging questions.
I really picked the gamut.
Yeah, and I can already tell you some of these aren't real. I'm going to have to go back to these. There's no real questions, so we're going to walk through a range of potential answers for some of these things.
All right,
because sometimes these answers to questions aren't as clear as any one of us would like them to be. So, okay, what's next?
Okay, the first one.
Okay,
what are the odds I have two trans kids?
Well-
She's not complaining. She's just, how does this happen?
how does two happen? Well, this is one of the things. There's so much we don't know. There's so much of this that we don't know, and so trying to answer the question, the odds are pretty long, but maybe not. It's dependent upon how malleable children actually are or are not. And this is the problem. When it's a big thing, children like to be what seems to be popular and fun, right? We all were. And so sometimes some of that is, the younger one wanting to be like their older sibling. And so they're kind of following. There's a genetic factor in here that all of us are overlooking in this.
We have no clue about.
And that we have no clue about, or a combination of genetic factors.
Right.
That we have no combination about. So the answer isn't what's the odds. The answer is, you just do what you're going to do regardless.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter what the
really
odds.
matter.
The odds are what the odds are, and you beat them or whatever, however you want to look at it, whether you beat them or they're working in your favor, it's irrelevant because this is what you've got. And this is what you have to deal with. And, my suggestion is to not worry about it so much. Just do what you were going to do anyway, because it doesn't matter. Does it seem a little weird? Sure. May you want to see, okay, isn't somehow our family or the community we are around somehow predisposing them to lean that way during periods of time when they're questioning themselves? I suppose it wouldn't be a harmful exercise to kind of take a second look at your surroundings, but not as from a critical eye, just kind of see maybe you've overloaded on that messaging. Right? And so they see being something different as bad, and so that's why they gravitated to that. It doesn't have to be purposeful. It's just by accidentally overloading on messaging, right? So is it worth examining? Probably. From an intellectual exercise, anyway. I don't know how much you're
really going to find out here,
No, well, because it's Pandora's box is open, so to speak. It's back to what's the percentages? How much does it matter at this point? But maybe for your own just consideration. Did I play a role? Did the culture play a role? Or is this just the theoretical genetic roll of the dice? Or some strange witch's brew of combination, which is generally how these things work, to be honest. If you want to boil it down to the reality of reality, it's generally some strange witch's brew of combination of factors that us trying to decipher is, crazy. Crazy to try to figure it out. There's just too many potential factors to want, and our desires as human beings to find a single factor that if we could change that, the life would be wonderful and better. Well, even if you could find one single factor that you can change, doesn't entirely mean life would be better and wonderful. It'd be different. This is true. It doesn't mean it would be better. Those are not necessarily the same thing. Okay, so what's next?
Balancing screen time for young kids. What limits are realistic? Okay, they're 4 and 6 and they're playing video games.
Yeah. Well, but video games are these days are our building blocks. You know, where we were given blocks and stuff to play with. They're learning spatial awareness through video games the same way we learned them through Legos and Lincoln Logs and all these kind of things. It's just how the world is. Now, do you necessarily want it to be that way? You as a parent have a choice. They are 4 and 6. They have access to what you choose to give them access to.
Yeah.
And how much you choose to give them access to. Will they scream and cry? Maybe for a little bit till they get used to it because they're children. They will. And so if you feel that they have too much screen time, then they probably do. And so you need to figure out ways to restrict it and give them something else to do. Make sure you replace it with something or a wide range of things they can choose from. But
there is, you mentioned some of them, Legos, Lincoln Logs.
Yeah.
Blocks, just the plain wooden blocks at that age.
If you've got boys, wooden blocks. If you've got girls, you can go to the traditional tea set and dolls. Heck, swap them both and see which ones you like. You never know. You know,
yeah,
doesn't matter. The point is to try to find something off of a screen, something physical rather than digital for them to interact with.
And time outside.
Yeah, the kids don't get to go outside. Just go outside and play. Which, oddly enough, you know, in our day, go outside and play. For our families, it was a relief. Just get the heck out of here. You guys are driving me crazy. And for us, it was essentially freedom. Woohoo! We get to kicking us out the house. We get to get. We'll be bored in 10 minutes, but that's all right. We'll find something to do. But yeah. Today, parents, you know, we couldn't come in the house. We weren't allowed in the house until dinner time, right? That's especially during the spring and summer when the weather was nice. You weren't allowed in the house. Mom was the maddest person on the planet when it was raining outside because they couldn't send the kids outside. Go outside and find something to do. Come back before the street lights are on. That was, you can't really do that anymore. So I feel for some of these kids growing up. Okay, so now some of the things we did were undeniably stupid, but that's a different discussion. You know, stupid should hurt. We learned a lot. Okay.
I love this next one.
All right.
Airlines should have the option to opt in to sit next to kiddos under 3 because she got on a plane, happened to sit with her toddler, and she happened to sit next to another toddler, and the toddlers played the entire time.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. Nobody cried. It was magic.
Yeah.
And she's like, why can't I opt in to do that next time?
Yeah, okay, well, that worked this time, but the other problem is if one of those toddlers had gotten cranky, then you would have ended up with 2 cranky toddlers. You know, the playing joyful thing, it works the same way. Once one of them starts crying, the other one starts crying. So, you know, great, it worked this time, but go flip a coin and try it again and see what happens. But the overall idea is not actually terrible.
No.
Because some people don't mind sitting next to top. Yeah, you know, the toddler next to you screaming. Yeah, so welcome to the 5 I raised that were screaming at me all the time. What do you want from me? You know, I'm deafening this year. I don't know. We're all good. I tuned that out. I learned that tune that out a long time ago. So it's not necessarily a terrible idea, but there are potential issues. Not everybody should sit next to a 3-year-old. Thought, very people who might. Just saying. So there's people you don't want sitting next to a 3-year-old. And do you really want them to have the opportunity to opt in to sit next to a 3-year-old? That's all I'm saying. All right. Okay. What is next?
When do you step in with your child's difficult friendship? She has a 9-year-old little girl, and she overheard one of her friends call her fat.
Yeah. Generally speaking, I prefer to let children work through these things on their own. But if you see that your child is having difficulty dealing with, criticism, then you may step in. But as a rule of thumb, and this is going to have to go back to, remember, I raised boys. We didn't have this problem. So fat would have been the nicest thing they said to each other. They're friends. So
I heard them play video games. They were awful to their friends.
Yeah, this is the people they like. So going from I raised boys and my boys specifically, it's one of those things I let children work through. They have to learn to work through these things in their lives, and they do that with practice. Now, doesn't mean you don't observe, doesn't mean you don't make a judgment call at some point if you need to, but consider. Now, granted, this is a girl's, so maybe it's more your call than mine. Because with the boy, you'd let it ride. They'll figure it out or not. And you pay attention and you deal with it only if you need to.
You know what I would do?
What's that?
I would hear stuff like that, and I would walk in there and go, "Excuse me, are you friend? Are you a friend? Friends don't talk like that. Stop it."
That's the difference between girls and boys right there. So there you've got your two choices. You can either be option A, which she raised 3 girls. You got a girl, maybe that's the way to go. I raised 4 boys, and mine is let it ride. So if they're 2 vastly different choices, and you can choose either one. How's that?
There you go.
All right.
Struggling with a physically active 10-month-old always wants to be put down and crawling all over the place, getting into everything, very, very large muscle stuff all over the place.
And
crawling, climbing.
Isn't that every 10-month-old?
Jumping.
Isn't that pretty much every 10-month-old?
Pretty much.
I mean, again, back to this I raised boys thing, so I don't know. Maybe
No, they're all pretty much like that, unless you got one that's particularly active, huzzah for you, because you got to be active.
Yeah, this is one of those things. You create a space where they can play, and you set them down and you let them play. And that's how they learn how to use their body, and that's how they learn how space works. It's how they learn to control their fingers and muscle control and all the various things that we learned how to do instinctively. This is when they're doing it.
Yeah.
So you let them. And it gives you the opportunity to not have to carry them around on your hip all the time. I get it, right? She's a mother. She misses the baby but gets to hold him all the time. And now it's independent. It's only going to get worse from that perspective. But guess what? They have to do it. Right. She wants a 3-month-old baby back.
Well,
I understand the thing. She wants a 3-month-old baby back, but you're never getting that 3-month-old baby back.
Sorry. I'm sorry, but you're not.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So you might get a different 3-month-old baby at some point, but that's a vastly different question. Just accept that the child is growing and well evolved, and Enjoy this particular day and this particular week and this particular month, because especially at this age, you'll never have that again. So rather than worry about what you've lost 6 months ago, enjoy what you've got right now. Because
It's going to change in like 6 weeks.
it can change tomorrow. So enjoy what you've got right now. At this age, it can change tomorrow. So enjoy what you've got right now.
Yeah.
It's my suggestion.
It's a very good suggestion.
Okay.
Is 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. too late for a 3-year-old birthday party? Yes.
That says 5:30, but
5:30 to 7:30.
that's
Sorry.
too long for a 3-year-old birthday party. I mean, unless it's all family. And so it kind of depends. If that's a family gathering,
It's a family gathering. You could do it.
that's fine, right? That's right in family dinner time.
But if you're inviting, 3 or 4 3-year-olds, that's going to be too long for one, and it's too late. You should do it in the morning.
Yeah, well, because you're interrupting people's dinner time. That's dinner time. So it's a dinner party if you're inviting people over. Now, again, it's perfectly fine if it's a family gathering, everybody's family coming to the birthday party, you're having pizza or wings or tamales or whatever it is your family does on family celebrations. That's perfectly cool. Maybe you have a couple friends of the family come over and they enjoy dinner and all that. That's perfectly reasonable. But if you're actually having a bunch of kids come over, a bunch of 3-year-olds, like the daycare kids come over or something, that's an afternoon thing.
I think I used to like the morning. They were in better moods.
Mornings, afternoons, whatever. But that's something that happens during the day because you don't want to interrupt people's dinner. All right. What is next?
Anyone else feel like 30 minutes as a gym is a fantasy as a new parent?
It's a fantasy for me now, just because getting me to the gym for 30 minutes is a fantasy. Trying to do I could make the time. It's hard, but like anything else in parenting, it's about prioritizing. You can find 30 minutes for something you really want to do.
Yes, you can.
And so if you want to prioritize it high enough, you can make it work. Now, you might have to give something up, and giving something up, maybe you do laundry 3 times a week instead of 6. And who knows what a combination thereof of things you're going to have to you're going to have to surrender to get it done. But no one said it's easy. This parenting thing isn't easy. Balancing everything that needs to get done
Oh, man.
isn't easy.
No.
And so you prioritize it. And who knows, maybe right now 30 minutes at the gym is a fantasy. Maybe there's simply too many other higher priorities. And so
you're going to have to get out snippets of workouts at home.
Yeah, you're going to have to do 10-minute workouts during the day because you can't get
30 minutes away from the house.
Yeah. So you're going to have to do jumping jacks and stuff.
There's plenty of YouTube videos, 10 minutes. There we go.
And sit there and do some 10-minute jumping jacks, put some weights on your wrists and stuff while you do it. You can do a little if you just want a maintenance type of stuff. So when you do finally get back to the gym, you're not so far behind what you feel is behind.
Yeah.
You're not actually behind. You're just where you are, right?
Yeah.
This notion of that behind is the self-imposed thing.
Or trying to get back to where you were pre-baby, in 6 weeks,
Yeah. You're going to get to where you are, or to where you're going to get to go. It's a whole new world, a whole new life. But 30 minutes may be a fantasy, maybe not, depending upon your priorities and your time and way you can remanage your time. But you can squeeze in those other times doing other things to keep yourself from, get yourself exercised, shall we say. And again, you can just do jumping jacks with weights on if you have to. It doesn't take any time or space. 5 minutes in jumping jacks a few times a day, and you will at least have some basic cardiovascular. You put weights on your stuff and you're going to maintain your strength.
There you go. You could do
There's
lunges.
a whole hundreds of things you can do. I'm just the last person to
I
ask.
used to do
Have you
100
seen-
sit-ups.
Have you seen this? I am the last person to ask about exercise. All right. Parenting is a full contact sport, and sometimes love looks like surviving to bedtime. What happens when the person you love becomes a person you can't stand? Let's talk relationships where the stakes are high and the emotions run deep. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Which questions hit hardest? Take on your take on parenting screen time. We want to hear from you. Like, subscribe, and share if this episode made you laugh, cry, or just ponder. Show some love and hit that subscribe button. God, I can't read tonight now. This is getting embarrassing. Have a good night, and please remember to love everybody.
Good night.